This is SEL0220. I'm back at it again. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of different projects, a lot of different things, but now and again, I will occasionally buy a movie and I'll do a review on it. So I have a treat for y'all tonight. Y'all probably saw like the opening credits, and like I said, I've been doing some new things with how I'm going to do the movie reviews, and any kind of video I put up here from now on, it's going to be a little bit different, add a little bit of tweak to it. But just like the title you just saw, Summer Wars. Back 2009, short backstory. I'm not going to go into full detail, but I remember back when I was hanging out with friends, and then I saw this somewhere, and I was like, man, this looks really intriguing, because I remember Digimon. Any of y'all Digimon fans out there? I know there's a lot people who like either Pokemon or Digimon. I mean, I was okay with both, but when the Digimon movie came out, I thought it was like, wow, that was pretty epic. And so I looked at this and I was like, man, this looks very similar. But I was like, it looks like it's got a different kind of story arc to it. So I was like, maybe a little bit intriguing. But then, I mean, I just found out today that the director, Morio, it's pronounced Moruro Hosoto. I'll spell it for y'all, because I know I'm gonna probably put it in letters right here. Probably a little bit right here. Mamoru, and then last name is Hosoda. So that might be Hasada. Mamoru Hasada. I guess that's the best way to pronounce it. But he actually did the film in 2000 for the Digimon movie, which I did not know. He's also done a couple other things, which I'm not going to go into those now. The main focus today is I wanted to talk to y'all about Summer Wars, how much I really enjoyed it. I'm not even going to go off the dynamics of how the scope of the movie looks, or even go into like how the character developed. I'm just going to go and flow with it and see how it goes, because this is totally different. This movie has so many layers to it that I can appreciate from, I guess now, a filmmaker standpoint, from a critic standpoint, from an artist standpoint, and just from an enjoyer of just good animation. And so this was a rare gem for Japanese animation for me. It's one of my favorite animes. But I guess I'll go into the meat of it. You got a story arc of a character. His name is Kenji. He's a little mathematician. I thought when I was looking at it, I thought they were probably like grown up. I thought they were like in college. I didn't know he was like 11th grader. But he's a genius in mathematics, but he was just an average kind of person. He was really dull. He had kind of, it's like a summer job working. It's kind of like an admin, which is really cool. It means it shows he's got a really good initiative. But, I mean, he's very timid. And so his friend, what is his friend's name? Sakura. That's his last name. They were two working together. And then all of a sudden, one of their students that Kenji had a huge crush on, she comes up and she's like, I need your help. And she didn't tell him what it was about. And he was like, I don't know. And then he ended up agreeing to it. And from there, it goes a whole different route, because she takes him back to like her family, her home. And even when the beginning credits, you look at it, and you can tell off the animation just looks totally different than what you kind of used to. They established the world of Oz. Oz in of itself is basically the World Wide Web, but on a virtual simplistic form. Meaning that, say, imagine everything that we know now about the World Wide Web, how it can work with Amazon, with our bills, with our stock options, everything you know. But imagine if you could visually see it and virtually interact with it. So every person that works on Oz actually has an avatar. You inadvertently go and access everything you have and do. Like, say if you're a firefighter, then you have access to these kind of files or these kind of like privileges. And everybody has their own avatar. They can do that. It's supposed to be one of the most secure systems, which is really cool. I mean, it's a good futuristic thought process. So it's very scientific, but it's very dangerous, just sounding like, okay, so you're going to tell me, just like in my Xbox 360, I'm going to have an avatar that can do everything and anything that I really want to do on a normal basis. Like, it just sounds crazy. But, like, anyway, I had to tell y'all about that, the first part. So they already established that up front, which I thought was storyline wise, it kept me intrigued because I was like, I mean, I love technology. I love like innovation and new things and whatnot. And this was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then it goes full forward into like the two characters, and then you get pulled into her world. And you find out that she comes from a very strong traditional family. Now, the reason why I can appreciate this so much is I love my grandparents. My grandparents died when I was, one was when I was 12, the other one was when I was a little bit younger. But they taught me values. They taught me almost everything that I can remember now about good foundational things I learned from my grandparents. I mean, on different sides of my family, it's like I'm a family person. Like I'm a family man. I can see the benefits and draws of like family dynamics shaping and molding you. But I've also seen the other side where dysfunction can tear families apart. But this family is just so unique because they've got a great foundation, and it all lays upon the grandmother. Once you meet the grandmother, you're gonna be like, oh snap! Because how Kenji meets the grandmother, old girl kind of sprung a surprise on him. I'm not gonna spoil it for y'all, but she sprung a surprise on him and introduced her to the grandmother. The grandmother was like, "Look, are you gonna take care of my baby? Would you do this for my baby? Would you die for my baby?" And the way that I love the animation is because when you look in at Kenji's face, his man is so terrified. He's like, "I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this." But when she asked that question, and you look in his eyes, you know he had a crush on her, but you didn't know like how deep his character truly is. And he looked at her, he couldn't say anything, but he said yes. And you look in his eyes, you could tell he meant it. And I knew that I was like, okay, there's more to this guy than meets the eye. And I mean, I knew he was smart, but I didn't know he had layers to him. And by the end of the movie, you'll see exactly like to the depths of like how much he cares about this female companion and her family. But what's so interesting is the fact that a lot of it takes place between Oz world and the real world that they had set. And I mean, some points I was like pulled in so much that I forgot about the fact that this is not even real. Like, but it was so believable in the way they portrayed the characters and they portrayed the dynamics of the family. When they had issues, they had real life issues. They had people that one of the characters, the female character of this, let me get her name correct. Natsuki. Um, her uncle, I believe her uncle was born through like the mother or the grandmother. Her husband had a child, somebody else, but they adopted him, and he all his life was trying to prove something to like his grandmother and make money and do what he could. And it got to a point where he had went and said something crazy along the lines of, well, I did this for you. And what he did could cause the lives of millions to be devastated, hurt, or killed. Now, this wouldn't have had so much gravity if beforehand, when a catastrophic event had happened on Oz, on the net, and nobody could do anything. Nobody could interact as far as like the World Wide Web. Everybody was going out of whack, and it was all being caused by this one set program. But what the grandmother did, she got on the phone. This lady had contacts. She had family members. She had people that respected her, that cared about her, like grandchildren. Like you could see how widespread like their family was. And I don't think some of them were even her family. I thought that the way that she portrayed it was that she counted everybody like fans. She counted everybody with value, with self-esteem. And I mean, to the degree that when she went and called them, she was a self-motivator. And because the way she portrayed that, Kenji was looking like, man, I know what she's doing. She's motivating him. And just him looking at her, he admired that about her. He admired the dynamics of how she led that family, even without the husband. Okay? So now, going back, fast forward, well, like I said, with the son, he had said to her, he was like, well, this is all for you. And he knew that this was going to cause like, this is causing issues. And yet he would go back and tell her, she looked at him like he was insane. And she asked him straight up, she's like, is this true? And he was like, I did it for you, I did it for you. She turned, this lady almost killed him. This old lady, this 89-year-old lady almost ended him. But it was so serious and so raw that she loves him so much. It's like, how do I put it? It's an emotional reaction to a love hate perspective that's going on both forefront. Like, she hated the action that he did, but she loves him, and so she, out of emotion, she was gonna kill him. It's like when you have like some of y'all out there, family dynamics. Like, it was so far you can like get out of check, and you'll think to yourself like, man, if I get out of check, my mom might kill me. You know, that's that kind of love that was going on there. But when you're looking at on the screen, if you look at it from a surface value, you're just looking at that one scene like, okay, that grandma was nuts. But if you see where the heart value is and the layers to her character, and just how deep her character is, and how intricate it is to every single person that's in this movie, it's just amazing. Because something happens and everybody's put to the test. By the end of the movie, everybody has to do something to try to stop the events that are happening, because it's not just now taking place in Oz. Now it's taking place in the real world. The things that are being messed up in Oz, because every single person the Avatar is connected to this, now is literally breaking the infrastructure of the world's dynamics. And everybody has to go and do their part. And like, the reason why I said I can't go back and forth with like the dynamics of the look and the character, because it's all interwoven. Just like everything with the movie is interwoven. Like the movie, the animation is beautiful. When you go and you look at the scope of the real world, very classic animation style, very beautiful, very blunt, specific words that you would notice on a regular basis, like different companies you would see on a regular basis. Then when you go and you look into Oz, it's just so extravagant and raw and awe, and it's just has a world of its own. It's two different worlds. You can distinguish the two between the two. Just like when I look at this, you got, this is what Oz looks like, right? And then this is what the real world looks like. But when you put the two together, like, you can see there's like a character distinction there between each person, and it's just very awesome to see. And with the movie, you've got the stuff that's going on with Oz, you got the stuff that's going on with the real world, and the catastrophic things that are seriously actually happening that you wouldn't expect of a movie like this on an animational form. But then you got like the core value, which is the family, which is the people. And then you got Kenji, who is just put in the middle of a situation where he's got a girl that he likes, but he's like, what am I doing here? I don't understand. I don't fit in like this. And he rediscovers himself. He rediscovers like the self-motivation of the grandmother makes him realize who he truly is. So you got that, Yon. You got the core, which is the family, but it's all interwoven together, because at a certain point you notice it's like the ultimate underdog story, but at the same time it's like the classic kind of story of a family that stays together can do anything together. That's how I overtook it, and that made it very inspirational. There was a couple scenes that was very sad. There was a couple scenes where like somebody is in grave danger. There's a couple scenes where somebody just is trying to dedicate everything that they can to try to fix the issue, and they just crying, and they can't stop. Like they like, I'm so sorry. Even to the very end, there's a scene where Kenji he's doing everything he can to try to stop this event from happening with the family, and it's just, it shows like how far you can be pushed to do something right. And I mean, to me, even though it wasn't to the gravity of him risking his life, I feel like it had that such substance to it. He's doing everything that he can possibly do, and more that he didn't think he could do. But he just knew that this was going to have to be done. And it made me laugh. First time I saw it, it almost made me cry. It kept me thinking. It kept me intrigued. I was related to this. I mean, I loved it. This is one of my favorite animations. And there's another one that the same director had done, going through the behind the scenes. was The Wolf Children, and I'm gonna probably go and buy that one a little bit later, and I'll probably do a review on that one if y'all would like me to. If y'all want me to go back and do a spoiler field review for Summer Wars, I'll definitely do that. But yeah, leave your comments at the bottom. I'll leave a link for IMDb link for you can get more information on the specific voice actors, because I've got this DVD box set. It's got of course, the English translation, and then they've also got the Japanese animation, but it's also got great subtitles. It looks amazing on Blu-ray, but this set, it was the combo, so it came with the DVD and the Blu-ray and an extra disc. I haven't looked at that yet, but yeah, this is one of my favorites, and I had to do a review on it. I'm gonna get ready to go to bed. More videos on the way. Go and check out Big Movie, the first draft. I haven't gotten laid down for the dialogue yet, soundtrack. What I have up there now is just feature artists. So some of y'all are not gonna be able to look at it on your cell phones, unfortunately. But I promise y'all, I'll let y'all know and make an announcement when it's officially the final version for Big Movie. We're already shooting Big Movie 2. And then I've got a couple other projects that I'm working on. It's a madhouse. Nah, it's just supposed to be funny. Madhouse helped develop this. Anyway, I am an anime fan. I would love to hear y'all's insight. I would love to let y'all tell me if y'all have another movie that I should probably go and review. I'm down for it. Anyway, have a good night. Have a good day. Have a good life. This is SEL0220 signing out. Later, YouTube.